And welcome back to Sin and Fin, the Dugout Decisions Show. The Toronto Blue Jays won another series, second in a row. But most importantly, we have a guest. It's not even an interview, too. We just have a guest on the podcast. It's a privilege and honor to have Tyler Clement on the podcast. He's filling in for Aiden, who is in Romania right now. Crazy stuff. But thank you for coming on, Tyler, to talk Jays with us.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me on, and I'm excited.
Well, let's dive right in here with the series standouts. There were quite a few. This was a fun series in the Blue Jays Guardians series. And in the top for me is Jesus Sanchez. This is a guy who the Blue Jays trade for, and they traded my guy Joey Loperfido to get Jesus Sanchez. And boy, he's been performing. He's been pretty constant in that cleanup spot against righties, and he's been producing, whether that be singles the other way to a clutch single the other way. I feel like he does that very often, just stays on the ball, or as he did today, just pull on a ball and hit it super far to right field. And then even the other day, hit a nuke to center field. Like this guy has been
Oh,
insane. He had two hits, and both of them were homers this series. And to go along with that, he had four RBIs. He's been incredible for this Blue Jays team.
yeah, he's been such a good addition to the team, and always so astounded by how hard he can consistently hit the ball.
Yeah.
Like, not many guys can hit it like that consistently.
Yeah, 100%. And I think one of the things the Blue Jays have done is lower his bat speed compared to last year. Because if you look at the guy's stats, his bat speed is Addison Barger range. It's up there with one of the best hitters in the league. And they lowered his bat speed, which was interesting because usually it's the more bat speed, the better the player is. And you see
Yeah.
that last year with George Springer. The guy started swinging the bat harder, found more production, was a better player, and here they decrease his bat speed, and now he's staying on the ball more, looks more like a complete hitter rather than the free swinging Jesus Sanchez that we've seen in the past, and just hit random like 500-foot bombs, and now he's like a consistent major leaguer. So that's fun to watch. And then another guy is Kaz Okamoto, and if you guys have been tuning into the podcast. I haven't been a big Kaz Okamoto fan. Okay, he's been on the series struggles like every episode, but in the past few weeks he's really picked it up, and that's since the Arizona Diamondback series. And in one moment, kind of like the Rangers moment last year, where Bo hit that walk off, and everything kind of turned around. Since that hit against Ryan Nelson, that RBI single in the second game of that D-back series, he's been 10 for 30. That's a 300 batting average, and they've been really good at bats as well. And in this series, he had back-to-back home runs. And not only were they home runs, they didn't scrape over the wall. They went to the WestJet flight deck, and Aiden and I had a privilege of going to the WestJet flight deck to watch a game, and that's super far from home plate. Like it's pretty nuts. So this guy Kazuo Komodo, he's got some pop, and he showed it this series.
Yeah, it's been really nice to see Okamoto's bat start to heat up because, we've all been waiting for it, and we've seen him struggling with faster pitching. And one thing that I noticed that they talked about in the broadcast today was that he actually moved back in the batter's box.
Mm.
So assuming that, it'd give him more time to adjust to the fastball.
Yeah, yeah, I thought that was super interesting as well, and it just had to be done. I mean, we've talked about this in the past. I was there for the second game of the season against the A's, and this guy Elvis Alvarado comes out of the bullpen, flashing like 102 mile per hour sinkers, like 15 inches of horizontal and vertical movement, like insane. And Kaz, it just didn't stand a chance. And it's an incredible pitcher. It's a great pitch, but you got to find a way to counteract the velocity. And I think moving back in your stance is a great way to do that. And I think there's really good ways to quantify that today because Baseball Savant, if you're a Baseball Savant nerd like many of us are, you may see there's like a batting stance thing where you can see where guys' feet line up and within the box, within the batter's box. And maybe they're using that and seeing kind of messing around, and it looks like they found something. Just moving back in the box, giving Kaz more time to see the pitch come in, and just moving to the next player here. We got Tyler Clement on the podcast, so who better to talk about than his guy Ernie Clement? He may be wearing an Ernie Clement jersey right now. I know he's got one, and man, he's been so consistent so far this season.
Oh yeah. Ernie is one of my personal favorite players, not just because of the name, also because, he always goes out there, works really hard, puts up good numbers. And he is just so consistent. Like he can hit every single pitch. Like I don't think there's a pitch that he couldn't hit that he swings at.
It's insane. It's really nuts. And one thing that sticks out to me at least is he hits no matter where he is in the lineup. He could be hitting eighth, goes two for
Oh yeah.
three. He could be hitting second. I haven't seen him hitting third yet because our guy Vlad's there, but he hit leadoff today. And he had 4 hits and 11 at bats this series. Like that's awesome. That is really good. And when you look at the whole grand scheme of things in his season stats, he's hitting 324. He's hitting 324. We talked about this on the last episode too. Me and Aiden did, where he's really picked back up his postseason form, and we didn't know kind of what Ernie Clement we were getting this season. Are we getting the Ernie Clement that we saw in the regular season, where hey, he was good, the defense was good, but like you're like a 250, 260 hitter. You go to the postseason, you hit like 400, 450. And if we can get this Ernie Clement with tremendous defense, hits 320. I don't even think he's hit a bomb yet. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The guy hits singles, doubles. He's a doubles machine. He really is. And something else that that I thought was really funny is that uh, he started using Anthony Santander's bat. And I don't know if this was yesterday or today, but he told Hazel May, Anthony Santander's bat's got a lot of hits left in it. And boy, does it ever, Anthony. You got to pick up that bat and start swinging it for the Blue Jays. But while he's injured, Ernie Clement uses the bat, and I just think that's a funny storyline, don't you? Like it's just hilarious how it just takes
Yeah.
guys out of
That's
them.
that's great. I honestly didn't even know that. I
Yeah.
didn't know that. That's great. And yeah,
Yeah.
another thing about Ernie now is I think he's second in the league in doubles. Like he's been just absolutely hitting everything in the gaps, finding holes. It's been
Yeah.
amazing
Oh,
to watch.
yeah. It's incredible. And it's so awesome to see him pick up on his form from last year, and then another guy who exemplifies picking up his form from last year. Maybe not fully the postseason because that is inhumane to do what Vladimir Guerrero Jr. did in the postseason for a full 162 game span,
Mhm.
but the guy hits. The guy flat out hits. And man, I was watching him today. He went 3 for 4 today, really propelled us to a win. And it was a close win today. And he really led us there. And he almost hit a bomb. And
Yeah.
he thought it was gone. He really did. He was slow out of that batter's box, walking to first. And such a nice swing. Oh, it's just such
Mhm.
a nice swing. Seeing
Oh yeah.
Vladdy have a clean swing, clean, powerful swing, and those are the swings that we've been seeing more of. You look back to the Angel series, that home run, that's such a clean swing, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. gets hits, and those hits may come by like leaning over and swing his bat out and then getting a single up the middle, something like that. But when he gets those powerful swings where you can really see the bat speed pick up and see those really hard swings, that's when you know he's fully locked in. And we've seen a lot of those recently.
Mhm. Yeah, he's Vladdy's a phenomenal hitter. I've heard a lot of people kind of talk about how his power's been down. He hasn't been hitting as many home runs, but what I say to those people, I'm like, look at his numbers. The home runs will come. Like he's got the right approach at the plate. He's hitting like around 340. His OPS is approaching 900. Like he's good.
It's insane. It like this guy's not on power streak yet. He's OPSing 900. Like what is
Yeah.
it's insane. And we've got this guy for 14 years. Like it's a privilege. And
Yeah.
they were saying it at the broadcast. I keep forgetting that this is the first year of 14 years. It didn't start last year. It started this year. So buckle in, Blue Jays fans, and he's
Mhm.
starting to pick up his pace right now. And then looking back at game one. It was the only game we lost, but something promising that I found from that was that there were 6 runs on 9 hits. That this was a Blue Jays team that battled back, and that's something we saw last year when they were down. When we all thought they were out, this Blue Jays lineup just battled and battled and battled. And the guy on the mound that day, we'll talk about him later. I'm not even going to mention
Oh
his
yeah.
name. Just tried his best to lose the game out for the Blue Jays, and they
Mhm.
battled. They battled. It was a Jesus Sanchez. No, it was a Kaz Okamoto homer, and Andres Jimenez had a double that day as well. It just caught the line, and just a lot of hits like that. And man, that Andres Jimenez double, man, that just hit the chalk, and that was nice for me to see because it just kind of says we're starting to get some luck back. And over these past few weeks, we've seen so much misfortune, whether it's the Tyler Heineman incidents and the defense stuff and
Mhm.
just so many just so much bad luck. And now to
Yeah,
see that
no.
Andres Menez just barely hit the line, that felt good for me. And they're performing well right now. Like this is back-to-back series wins, and to see that luck and to see guys come back is really promising.
Mhm. Yeah, I was also at game one of the series too.
Mm.
So, when they went down 5-0 in the first, the crowd was pretty dead. They were like, crap, like this isn't gonna go well. So it was still nice to see the guys battle and there was a few good hits, like we said, kind of Okamoto's home run to center. Jimenez had 3 hits. Like it was good. It
Did you at
was good to
least get a
see.
Y2K hoodie?
I did not, unfortunately.
Oh no.
There was people that said they were there 3 hours early and they didn't even get one. So I was like,
That's
holy.
insane. It's not even like a George Springer bobblehead. It's
Yeah,
just
it's
a
nothing
hoodie with
crazy.
logos down the sleeve. Like that's crazy stuff. And Patrick
Mhm.
Corbin talked about this in the last episode as well. This is a guy the Blue Jays signed off his couch, and a guy
Mhm.
who he had a negative WAR last year. He was good at points. I think it was around 3.5 ERA, and then at the end of the season it was a 4.5 ERA. And we were in
Mhm.
desperation and said, "Good old Patrick Corbin, get off your couch and start pitching games for this Toronto Blue Jays team." Went right down to Dunedin, uh, killed the teenagers like 11 Ks, and then came up and not the best debut. And Aiden was grilling this guy, saying he quote unquote never wanted to see Patrick Corbin in a Blue Jays uniform ever again. Well, I do. I do because Patrick Corbin's been performing
Mhm.
well, and so well that he kicked Eric Lauer's butt to the bullpen. Like I wouldn't have thought that if you told me that a month ago that it's not even May yet and Eric Lauer's in the bullpen and Patrick Corbin took his spot in the rotation. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff, especially after what
Mhm.
Eric Lauer said in spring training, where he wanted a starting rotation job and all that. Just crazy stuff, and he's been very valuable for this Blue Jays team so far.
Yeah, I was with Aiden. I didn't have much hope for Patrick Corbin when we signed him when he came up to the rotation, but it's been pleasantly nice to see that he's not playing like amazing, but he's getting the job done, and his ERA is below 4, so can't really complain about that. And yeah, Eric Lauer, I feel like his time with the Blue Jays could be running out. We'll see what happens, but
100%. It is an interesting situation going on over there where Eric Lauer pitched really well last year and demanded a rotation job in the spring, and we didn't know what that was going to look like. And then he's been saying a few things. He said something after his this I think it was his last start where oh no 2 starts ago where Braden Fisher opened for him and he didn't like that very much. And who knows how he likes the bullpen right now. Who knows how he could be taking that demotion. So uh, once this Blue Jays team starts to get more healthy when it comes to the pitching side of things, Eric Lauer might be out the door, and it's not something maybe the Blue Jays prefer because depth is awesome, but the worst thing that could happen to a team is just the clubhouse just like getting crushed and someone just breaking apart the clubhouse. And we saw how close this Blue Jays team was last year. If there's a guy who comes in here and stirs bad blood in this Blue Jays clubhouse, like it's not worth it to keep running you out there, especially how you're performing right now. So Patrick Corbin took Eric Lauer's spot and he threw 4 and 2/3 innings today, gave up 2 earned runs,
Mhm.
4 Ks. as you said, nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. This isn't six shutty, seven shutty, eight Ks. Whoa, Cy Young, Patrick Corbin. No, no, that would have been nuts. But no, this is just he's giving us innings here, and that's all you want, especially with guys down. And we'll get to who's coming back very, very soon to this rotation and kicking Eric Lauer to the bullpen. And Kevin Gausman, our 1A or 1B, one of our aces. Can't say the ace because Dylan Cease has been pitching incredible. But Kevin Gausman Saturday, 6 2/3 innings, give up 2 runs. Hey, the strikeouts weren't there, 3 Ks, but I'd rather you go 6 2/3 innings and go into the seventh inning if you don't allow, if you don't strike out guys, then if you go 5 innings and strike out 10. And so props to Kevin Gausman, another great outing. And he was really sailing until David Fry hit a homer in the seventh and kind of took him out of the game there. But that really brought Kevin Gausman's ERA down to 2.57, which is insane. I think this guy's 35 years old, and this might be the best Kevin Gausman we've seen in a Blue Jays uniform thus far.
Yeah, Gosman's looked phenomenal this year. The splitter fastball combo is just so dangerous. No, it's been good to see him be consistent, and I have the privilege of having him on my fantasy team, so lucky me. When John Schneider pulled him out of the seventh inning there, I was a little bit fuming because I wanted to see him finish the seventh and get the chance to get out of it, but yeah.
Yeah, and Kevin Gausman's not a guy who goes terribly far. And
Mhm.
I remember in the postseason last year, I think it was like 4 or 5 straight starts where Kevin Gausman didn't get to 6 completed innings. I think he came out
Mhm.
5 2/3 every time. Like it was just crazy. But he gives us length, and this time he gave us 6 2/3.
Yeah.
Went into the seventh, which you don't see very often from our starters. And so props to Kevin Gosman. Thank you. And whenever the starters come out of the game, the bullpen comes in, and they pitched incredible. They pitched super well, even when Max Scherzer said his name. Dang it! But he tried to blow this game for the Blue Jays, and the bullpen came in and saved the day. They kept this game really close, so that they pitched 13 and a third innings, allowed 2 earned runs. Think of that. Think of like a starter going 13 and a third innings, allowing 2 earned runs. Like crazy, crazy. Your ERA line must be insane. Well, it is. It's a .9 ERA, which is awesome. It is amazing. And there's so many good pitchers on this Blue Jays staff. And you think of Tyler Rogers. I think Tyler Rogers still has a 0 ERA, and it's almost May. Just insane, insane. So props to Tyler Rogers, and then Braden Fisher kind of struggling today, but got out of it. I think fully unscathed, didn't allow a run either. And then Spencer Miles, all these guys. Most importantly to me, the guy who got bumped up into the closer role. That's Louis Varland, and we saw his first save opportunity yesterday. Didn't get off to a good start. I was getting scared there for a minute, Tyler. I was like, man, our closer role is like infected or something. Like something's going on here. It's
Mhm.
cursed. And then Louis V got out of it, struck out Rocchio to end the game, and then that was on 30 pitches. It was 30 pitches as well, and then he comes back into the game today, strikes out some guys, gets another save. So props to Louis V. Got his first 2 saves, I think, as a Blue Jay, and he's now the permanent closer for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Mhm. Yeah, it was nice to see Varlin get the shot finally in the closer role because personally I've been calling on that for quite some time. Um, he gave us all a heart attack yesterday though. It felt like we were gonna somehow lose that game and thankfully got out of the jam. So that was really great to see. Like you mentioned, Tyler Rogers, I don't know how you hit that from that angle. Like he throws slower, but it's so insane watching him pitch.
It's insane. And he's a 2 pitch pitcher out of the bullpen. Like, when do you see that?
Mhm.
You really don't. Jeff Hoffman,
You
three
don't
pitch
really.
pitcher. Braden Fisher, 3 pitch pitcher. Louis V, four. It's so rare to see an effective reliever
Mhm.
with 2 pitches. And Jordan Romano had 2 pitches, but it was always a heart attack. except for 22 where he was like
Yeah.
insane and a few other seasons as well. But yeah, it's just crazy to see a two-pitch pitcher from that arm slot. And I think I was watching the game yesterday, and the commentators were like, I think more guys should throw like this because why not? Why not? If
100%.
you are performing well, if you've made it this far and you can throw kind of hard, whatever, and you've got the dedication and the talent, why not move your arm slot down a bit and see if this would work out? Because man, Tyler Rogers is carving out a heck of a career just doing this every single time. And I really wonder when he started throwing like this. I wonder if he like went to like a JUCO and wasn't doing good at the JUCO and was like, "Hey, I gotta mess up. I gotta change my arm slot or something." And then he just found this out and carved out like a 15-year MLB career. So props to Tyler Rogers. He's been insane, as well as the rest of the bullpen. And yeah, a bunch of nice things in this series. It was a fun series, and now we're going to go to the things that weren't so fun. That's the
Oh,
series struggles, and Tyler can really speak to the struggles of
oh.
Max Scherzer. I think it's two of the last three outings have been just blow-ups. Like just
hmm
the game's pretty much
Yeah.
over. And in his outing on Friday night against the Guardians, he went 2 1/3 innings. Like you can't leave the bullpen hanging like that at the start of a series. It's
Yeah.
just so tough for a pitching staff, especially as depleted as the Blue Jays is right now. And gave up, most importantly, 7 earned runs. Like seven. That's insane. But when you look at it, I think it was on 6 hits. Like, that's not many
Mhm.
hits to give up 7 runs. You look under the hood, pretty much all of those 6 hits are extra base hits. They are pretty
hmm
much all extra base hits. Give up 3 home runs in 2 1/3 innings in game one. It's tough. It's tough. And what can you speak on when it comes to Max Scherzer's struggles right now?
It was truly hard to watch that game. Every single it felt like every single strike he was throwing was just getting absolutely blasted. And he also had some walk issues. Like it was all around just not a good game at all. And we've seen it a couple of times now recently, like you just mentioned. So if he continues to pitch like this, I would not be surprised if his time in the rotation comes to an end or something else. Like I was almost thinking I wasn't sure if he was going to get another start. So we'll see what happens with him, but I'm skeptical about his future for sure.
Yeah, and that's really an interesting point. Is Max Scherzer's time done? Last year we gave him $15.5 million. We were kind of
Mhm.
tied to the whole Max Scherzer experiment because we gave him so much money. It's like, do you really want to eat
Mhm.
all that after the thumb injury and everything? And he performed okay, but not incredible.
Yeah.
And you go to this year, you didn't give him $15.5 million. I think you gave him like one, and I think the bonus was $1 million every 10 innings pitched. I think it
Mhm.
was something like that. And if you look down in the minors, Jose Barrios looks kind of like
Good.
Jose Barrios of old. And it
Mhm.
gets me pretty excited. So with Trey Savage coming up, Eric Lauer has been moved to the bullpen, and then with Jose Barrios, I think he's going to I think he's going to Buffalo this week because he was in the Blue Jays' his dugout
Mhm.
today. Jose Barrios is very close. I think he's at 70,
Mhm.
80 pitches, and could Max Scherzer's time be done? It's like where do you put him? Just where do you
Mhm.
put him? And I'm curious what you do, Tyler, when Barrios goes back. You're not putting Max in the bullpen.
Yeah,
Like you
that's what
can't do
that's
that.
what
Do
I'm thinking.
you go to a six
Mhm.
man? Like I don't know.
I think it's like some people forget Jose Barrios is a really good pitcher. Like last year, he was just kind of the odd man out, but like getting him back is going to be great. And as it stands right now, I would not be running a six-man rotation because if you're just going to have a six starter be Max Scherzer and let up, like 7, 8 runs every time he starts, then like who's that benefiting, right? Like I think
Yeah.
a five-man rotation would be a lot more efficient at that point. Assuming everyone's still healthy in a week. But yeah, if Brios comes back and everyone's still kind of around, then I see Max Scherzer being the odd man out at that point.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting because I don't see a fit, but I still want to keep him around because, hey, Cody Ponce is not coming back. Shane
Nope.
Bieber seems to be pretty far away, like early June or very late May. And do I want to DFA Max Scherzer right now? No, because I think we could rely on him, but I don't know what the spot is. I don't know what role we could put him in. So interested to see what the Blue Jays do to navigate this and what John Schneider and those guys decide on. And then Nathan Lucas didn't struggle at all. The guy's been the opposite of struggle. The only reason he's here on this list is he got hurt after an 11 for 21 stretch. And it's not only an 11 for 21 stretch where he hit like 500. He hit like 050 the start of the year. And then he went on this 11 for 21 stretch because he had vertigo and the whole health stuff. And I heard he changed his walk-up song to Vertigo by someone. That's like some
Yeah.
lunatic stuff, anyways.
Mhm.
Um, but you feel for the guy. You feel for the guy. He was going through it. I mean, the guy could barely see the baseball, and that's why his chase rate was so high. And then comes back and gets healthy, goes to Arizona, sees a specialist, and gets healthy and rakes. The guy went insane, and then he
Mhm.
gets hurt. I mean, it's such a 2026 Blue Jays thing to just be stellar and go crazy. And then all that momentum the player has or the team has totally diminished by an injury. So, like how does that hurt this Blue Jays team right now? Because Nathan Lucas, when he was hitting, and he was getting like 2 hits, 3 hits every day, and this was a Blue
Mhm.
Jays team that didn't get much offense in general. So how does this impact this Blue Jays team going forward?
Oh man, this team has dealt with so much adversity this year, and amid all the adversity, it was finally nice to see Nathan Lucas finally like
Yeah,
break out of his slump, like you said, start tearing it up. And then yet again, we have another injury, and we have a lot of outfielders injured right now. Like so we got Springer, Barger, Lucas. So I think not having Lucas is gonna suck for a little bit, but with Barger and Springer coming back, hopefully within the
yeah.
next week, I think we'll be okay. But no, it was just the timing of it just sucks because right when the bat gets hot, you obviously want that bat in the lineup every day. So that's how it's gonna affect the Jays for sure.
100%. And it's a grade one hamstring strain, I heard, so it's not
Hmm.
like awful and be out for a few months. This may be just the
Hopefully 10
duration of the
days.
IL stint, if not a few days more or a week more. Um, so thoughts out to Nathan Lucas because that just it's hurt for the guy and like it's just so tough and as we've talked about on this podcast with injuries, it's not only like he's not going to come back in a week's time or a week and a half's time and pick up right from the stretch. Like it's going to take him a few games, and you feel for the guy. And then just something else. It's our last struggle here that I just had to put down here. It's our catching tandems offense. Like asterisks on the offense because I think the defense has been fine. You look at Valenzuela. Valenzuela's got a friggin' rocket back there. Like it's it is fun to watch him play defense. But on the other side of the ball, watching those two swing the bat and Heineman and Valenzuela, it's not very fun to watch. And in this series, they were 1 for 10, just not good. And you know this is going to happen. You just know it. It just hurts because Alejandro Kirk has been so consistent over so many years, and it's invaluable what he's doing as a catcher. Like you look around major leagues, there's a lot of teams out there without good catchers. Like it takes a while to get a really good catcher, especially one that can hit. And Alejandro's one of the best ones in the league. And man, these two are just struggling when it comes to hitting.
Oh yeah. Alejandro Kirk is such a good catcher. Like him being gone has made me realize even more how much like or how valuable he is to this team. Like whether it's with his framing, like his bat, like he's known for having clutch hits and he's a very good contact hitter. Like he's a like all around. I think he's like a easily a top five catcher in the league, probably at this point when he's healthy. But yeah, no. One thing I wanted to note is once Kirk is healthy, do you think they're gonna send Valenzuela down or DFA Heineman? Because I've seen some speculation saying that Heineman might be the guy kind of going out when that happens.
Yeah, we've talked about this on the podcast before,
Oh
and
yeah.
boy, Aiden and I love the Mexican catching tandem.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
just think it's so cool to have like two Mexican catchers, legit, like Alejandro Kirk and Valenzuela just bounce ideas off each other and do something like that. So I like
Mhm.
that idea, but also Tyler Heineman has run its course. Like it's
Yeah.
and we could DFA him, nobody pick him up a week after. Like we've done that so many
Mhm.
times. I think this guy
Yeah.
has had stints with this Blue Jays team since 22, 21. Like it's been multiple times. I just think Valenzuela is more valuable as a catcher
Mhm.
and especially defensively. And yeah,
Oh
keep them
yeah.
up. I think having that duo, having that tandem, and those guys are under team control for a long time. Alejandro Kirk signed, I think it was 5 year extension last year, and Valenzuela's under contract just because of all the service time stuff for like at least 7, 8 years. Like it's just
Mhm.
which is like five of them together. So I think that'd be super cool. And I'm looking forward to what that decision making process is. Could the Blue Jays just plainly demote Valenzuela back to Buffalo and keep Heineman? Yeah, that's kind of
Mhm.
boring though. And I kind of like the whole catching tandem up in the majors. So, what are your thoughts on that? What do you prefer?
I would for sure say we should unfortunately as it stands right now, DFA Heineman. I think he's a good guy in the locker room, but when they're both not hitting well and Valenzuela is, I think, superior defensively and he's younger. And we also just picked up Willie McIver. So
Stud.
if Kirk or Valenzuela end up getting injured, he would be a guy to call up to. Like he's no worse than Heineman, right?
Yeah, and that's a good point. We did make an acquisition. All the
Mhm.
Tyler Fitzgerald lovers listening to this podcast, so sad he's been DFA'd, and Willie McIver, a catcher, has been signed or claimed on waivers. And moving on from the struggles section onto the forecast. Looking at the forecast is looking pretty darn good right now. Okay, who do we have next? It's the Boston Red Sox that are in living hell right now. I think I, but at the time of this recording, they are 10-17, and that doesn't provide enough context because it's last night where the Boston Red Sox fired pretty much their whole coaching staff. You think about Alex Cora, their manager, their hitting coach, who I heard is solid, and Jason Varitek, former Red Sox player. Like they cleaned house to the max, and that's crazy. So that'll be interesting. It's their first game with new coaching staff today against the Orioles. But just before looking at the pitching matchups, we're going to look at who's coming back here. Who could come back to this Blue Jays team to start? Let's look at some bats here. George Springer, Addison Barger, both seem to be back imminent, like imminent, coming very soon. And I don't know if it's this series. It could be this series. It could be the next series. When do you think those two are going to come back?
I think Springer is a couple days away for coming back. Like they even talked about he might be ready for Cleveland, so I expect him to be back soon. Barger maybe a little bit later, but I think it wouldn't. I don't think it'd be unrealistic to say that they both come back this week.
Would be incredible. I don't feel like it's the Red Sox series. It just feels like kind of too sudden and haven't heard anything of
Hmm.
kind of momentum happening where they're both going to be promoted tomorrow or activated tomorrow. Now here's the real thing. Who goes up, who goes down in corresponding moves. So David Schneider's been swinging a super hot bat, but it's kind of cooled down. It's cooled down. He's
Hmm.
not hitting for crazy extra base hits like he was a few weeks ago. And you got Lenyn Sosa, who you acquired, and you got Eloy Jimenez, who's been stellar since since he's been promoted. And then the guy who just got his first major league hit today, and Yohendrick Pinango, who goes up, who goes down? Well, I think we know who goes up, but who goes down in a corresponding move when those two are activated?
Well, I think the obvious guy who's probably going to be sent down is Pinango.
Yeah.
I think I'm saying that right. This the tricky one is this the second player going down because like you said, Eloy Jimenez has been swinging a really hot bat. Um, Lenyn Sosa, like he's been cold. Like, is he a guy? I don't even think we can send him down without
Yeah.
DFAing him. But it's going to be a tough situation. Like you mentioned, Davis Schneider, like he's cooled off, but I feel like he's had some really good at bats, and he's like really good at working the count. Takes a lot of walks. He's a guy that's good to have on the team. So it's going to be a tough situation, and I'm interested to see what they decide to do there.
Yeah. I got two ones here. I think it's Pignon go down, as you said. I think that's the easy
Mhm.
one. Guy's got plenty of options. He just got called up. Pinango goes down, just doesn't fit. And then Eloy Jimenez, DFA'd. I think he's
Mhm.
out of options now. So I just think you got to do it. Like it's tough because the guy's hit on a Blue Jays team
Mhm.
that hasn't hit much, but it's too redundant for me. You can't bring George Springer back, who's going to DH every day, and have Eloy Jimenez.
Yeah.
Like you just can't do it. So for me, when
Mhm.
those two come back, I think it's Penyango down and Jimenez out, and then when Trey's back, who goes down? This is a little more interesting.
Yeah.
Who goes down from the pitching staff? We got different options here. Tommy Nance is a guy who's out of options. You would have to DFA him. He hasn't been performing well to start the season and didn't perform well in spring training and didn't pitch much in the postseason. And so Tommy Nance, an option. And then you brought up Joe Mantiply before the podcast. So Joe
Mhm.
Mantiply, I don't know if Mantiply has options. He might just have to be DFA'd. But
Mhm.
an interesting point you made was, do you have three lefties in the bullpen? Because you got Eric Lauer in the bullpen. He's going to be our long guy. And then you got Mason Fluharty,
Mhm.
staple in the bullpen, our best lefty. You're going to stay there. Do you have three and Joe Mantiply? Um, is that your pick there in Joe Mantiply going down or being DFA'd there?
Yeah, I would say Manaply would be the odd man out once Lauer goes to the pen, Trey's in the rotation. Cause one of my biggest reasons for that is because you got guys in the minors like Brandon Little, Josh Fleming, who are I don't think much worse than Manaply. And Brandon Little's been lighting it up down in AAA. So I assume he might be back at some point. He was really good for us like down the stretch last year. And then another reason I would land Mantiply is just because of how good Tommy Nance was last year. So like kind of hoping he'll return at least somewhat to form. I don't think he'll have a sub 2 ERA again, but I think he definitely has the opportunity to bounce back for sure.
100%. And yeah, I totally didn't think of Joe Mantiply. I was a little blinded by the strikeout numbers. I think Joe Mantiply's strikeout percentage is nuts, like top of the leagues right now. Like
Mhm.
it's nuts. But also there's a bit of a redundancy there where Eric Lauer, if like, and this is something I've said recently as well, where Eric Lauer pitched extremely well out of the bullpen last year, and he pitched
Mhm.
like to like a 180 ERA compared to like a 3.38 for out of the rotation. So Eric Lauer could pitch leverage. Like it sounds kind of crazy right now. He could pitch some high leverage
Mhm.
games and could fill in for Joe
Yeah.
Mantiply, who hasn't been pitching too many high leverage games, but has been a solid lefty.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting and something to definitely watch. And Trey's pitching Tuesday, and that leads us to
Mhm.
our next point, just on the pitching matchups against the Boston Red Sox tomorrow. Dylan Cease
Mhm.
versus Ranger Suarez. That'll be fun. See Ranger Suarez in a Red Sox uniform. I don't know how he's been performing. I don't think it's been great. Haven't really heard him light it up. And then this is the key one for me. I'll be tuned in for this one. It is Trey Savage versus Peyton Tolley. It's just a fun young gun pitching matchup. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be super fun. Peyton Tolley, a guy who's got some of the best stuff as a prospect, especially from the left side. And then Trey Savage making his season debut. And That's gonna be nuts. Like since the whole postseason stuff, like it's gonna be insane. He didn't even pitch in spring training, so
Oh,
insane there. And then Max Scherzer versus Brian Bale. Max, just pull it together, man. Give us some innings. Make this a competitive game. And man, I tell you, those first two games are quite favorable. And I'm gonna go take 2 out of 3 here from the Boston Red Sox. Won't do a full sweep. I think we take 2 out of 3
mm.
from them.
I think we also take 2 out of 3. I think we take game one, game probably game two, and drop the third game to the Red Sox. I think the third game has the potential to have 30 runs scored because both pitchers have a ERA above 9 right now.
Brian Bayo as well.
Brian Bayo's ERA is sitting right at 9, 9
Holy
even.
smokes! Wow, I didn't know that. That's
Mhm.
insane. Wow.
He's been
Well,
struggling. He let
that's
up 5 home runs the other day.
5. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, to the
That'll be a
Orioles.
fun game. So take the over on game 3 there, and that'll be a
Yeah,
fun
for
one. And then
sure.
just looking at the next few series, and as we said in the last episode, it gets kind of light. This Guardians team was probably the best competition we'll see for a while, and we took two out of
Mm,
three from them. So after the Red Sox series, and they're not playing too well, it's the Minnesota Twins who have been playing like kind of well, and I don't know why. I
mm,
I I I don't know why they don't have much star power on that team. I don't even think Byron Buxton has done anything this year. Like I just think
mm,
he's been pretty bad, and then like Brooks Lee and Austin Martin, that kind of stuff, and they've got some good starters. So the Twins
mm.
there, the Rays are annoying, man. I'm sure one of the because it's Rays and then Angels and then Rays. I'm sure one of those two
Yeah.
Rays series is at the House of Horrors in Tropicana Field. So
Mm,
so that'll be tough, and that Rays team has been bunting like crazy. So yeah,
mm,
that'll be interesting. But it's not like powerhouses. It's not like LA Dodgers coming back. Uh, no, it's some pretty good teams you can win series against and maybe even sweep them. I would
mm.
love a sweep. I would love to put a broom on the graphic for the first time in a long time since the first series. And yeah, so
Yeah, of
thank you for joining us, guys. This has been an incredible episode and an incredible series for the Toronto Blue Jays.
course.
And this should be a great series against the Red Sox. And thank you for Tyler for coming on. Really appreciate it. And
Of
thank you guys for
course.
listening. And go Jays!